Hello everyone. My mechanic a few months ago that did my timing belt mentioned to me that my power steering pump was starting to leak. And yes, I was aware of that. And as you can see, there's uh, greasy residue on that thing. Plus, grease marks on the driveway. I put up an absorbent cork to it so it would minimize uh, the leaking, but it has gotten progressively worse. So I will be rebuilding um, the seals and all that stuff for the power steering pump, and I will be using all original Honda products since I figured uh, online I can get the set for like $30 and about $40, and an aftermarket one runs about 25. Might as well stick with the original Honda. Again, this is a 2004 Honda Pilot. It's the LX trim, and it has 355,000 miles to it. So upon typing in my VIN number on some Honda parts web warehouses, um, these are the part numbers that came up. So basically there's total of 6 seals. All within those seals, one of them is going to be located where the pulley belt, the pulley is. So with that, we need to loosen this bolt before we we take it out from the belt and the mount. So that this will give you an opportunity to loosen it without having to put it on a vise or anything needed to clamp it down. And just for so to continue, there's 3 bolts that you need to be removing. One is, I don't know if you'd be able to see it, but I'm gonna put my socket to it. That's right. It's just behind the pulley. It's right there. It's right there. That bolt is ideally connected to the tensioner bolt. So in essence, that will be the last bolt that you will need to tighten alongside this bolt right here. This bolt. This is the other. This is the pivot bolt. The pivot for the pump. So this is also loose along with that one. But once it's tightened, the sequence is practically this one. Then tighten this one and that one. The one on the bottom. So remember when I said that we needed to loosen this bolt, right? So what I've done before in some cases is that I just run an extension bar all the way through, rest it against the solid part of the pivot arm, and grab a breaker bar, there. So now it's loose. You don't have to take it off completely. All you have to do is loosen it so that when you take it out for the seal, you don't have to worry about it once it's on the ground. The next parts would probably is relatively easy. One is remove the return hose. It's clamped on. just 2 bolts in the pressure hose, and once you get that off, get something to catch the fluids that will drip out of that, especially from this return hose. And once you get it done, just remove the belt and remove all the bolts, and you should be able to take it out completely. So as you can see here, I managed to take out the power steering pump. What I did was like cut out a small plastic bottle, use that to catch the dripping fluid, and the return just bends out of the way. As you can see, there's a lot of fluid that's been dripping in the area, so this will be a good opportunity for you to like wipe it down a little bit, or what I would be doing right now is spray some degreaser to it and then rinsing it off a little bit. While it dries, I will have while it's drying, I will be fixing or overhauling the pump, and also inspect any kind of damage that the fluid has done to like wires or anything like that, because it does have a possibility that all that fluid may damage other parts, but very unlikely. But since it's open, might as well check. And as you can see here, it could be a good opportunity to rinse or clean your pump before proceeding, so that none of the debris or none of that gunk ends up inside your pump. So what I did was like grab an old latex glove and just cut off the fingers and covered the holes. And here's another one that needs to be covered. So so basically, like I said, it will be a good opportunity for you to clean the hoses now. I mean the pump now. So here is the pump. So after some thorough cleaning, you'll be able to inspect it thoroughly for any kind of damage, any kind of things that you need to take note of, cracks or anything like that, because if there is any visible or physical damage to the pump, rebuilding it will render it useless, because it will be leaking out from those cracks. So I looked at it, inspected it thoroughly, and there doesn't seem to be any kind of issues that I see, so we will proceed. So first, I loosened these bolts. They're 12mm bolts. There's 4 of them. This is for the back, and of course we've loosened this nut from for the pulley, and then there's also a 10mm bolt right here that needs to be loosened, and that's for the return. And once I take off the bolt, oh, and another one right here, I believe that would be a 10mm Allen. So once I remove all the parts, I will show you the other parts that go with it and how they put together. So with a soft-faced mallet, just tap onto this, and it will release the pulley from the shaft. Now that the pulley is off the shaft, it gives you an opportunity to like, wipe down the bearing area, so that you can see the circlip that needs to be removed. Right there. There's a circle clip that needs to be removed to release the bearings later. So to proceed, first we're gonna look at this one. And there, as you can see, there's a spring to it, and there's an O-ring that's located right there. So to prevent misplacing the spring, what we're going to do is remove this O-ring and replace it right away and put it back on, so we don't have to worry about this particular part, since there's no other parts that need to be replaced in there. This will finish this particular section of the. As you can see, these are the O-rings that I ordered from Honda. Basically, what would help is if you lay them down, you'll be able to match the old O-ring. As you can see here, this is already beveled as compared to what a usual O-ring is. You should be round. The diameter and the what do you call it, the thickness of the O-ring should not be too far apart. Like this one right here, definitely not the same, because as you can see, the thickness of the rubber is different. So, and this one is the closest one. When in doubt, refer to the repair manual. They usually have that online anyway. It will tell you exactly which part goes with which. But pretty much this is how I do it, and the tolerances should be within spec. The other O-ring that we need to replace is on the return line. So we'll take out the, oh, not the return line, I'm sorry, the return line. Thought it was the pressure line. Check that. As you can see, there's the O-ring right there. That usually sits right on here. So when you install it, it sits properly. So we need to find that. There it is, the matching O-ring. So there are 2 O-rings down. There's only 3 more O-rings that we need to worry about. This one, which is located here. This one, which is basically located right around here, and this one, which is basically this part right here. This is the easiest one because it will be the last one to put in, but it's attention to detail will be important to here, because once you take this cover off, there's a lot of components that need to be put in exactly the right order and exactly the right position, so that it will what it calls function properly. But basically, if you don't rush the work, you'll be able to do this relatively well. So I'll put down the camera and then continue on when I open the cover. So now that I've opened it, as you can see, there's the other O-ring, and then there's the seal, and then there's the other ring. This is what I was talking about. This comes apart into 4 or 5 main pieces, main parts, and little fins that go around that circulate or pump the fluid. So it will be beneficial if there's not a need for you to take this apart, because there's no seals or O-rings that need to be replaced in this particular piece itself. It's just this part, which is around the housing, and then that part, which is basically what keeps the oil from what do you call it, transferring into the other parts. But since it's accessible, might as well replace all the seals along with it. So this in part has a little, as you can see, a moving what do you call it, rotor, so to speak, that lines up with the splines on this shaft. So there's no need to remove any part of this since there's no serviceable seals on there. So my the next part of this video will be to remove this shaft to access that seal. As you can see here, there's a circle clip that just needs to be taken out. And again, this would require both hands, so once I take this out, I will show you how to tap it out. So for this particular part, what you need to do is basically, once you take the circle clip out, this comes out that way. So since it's going to come out that way, it needs to be tapped from behind. And if you're going to tap it from behind, we are going to be using a stable surface. And my choice of stable surface will be the floor. Grab some blocks. Grab some wooden blocks so you'll be able to support the pump. And then it's just a matter of clearing the bottom and tapping out the bearing. Alright, I'll get back to you when the bearing is out and I'm about to tap back in the seal. Oh, I want to make a correction because I was pointing to that part right there. What I meant was behind this part. This is where you see the seal, the bearing seal. So this is what's going to look like once it's popped out. It just needs to be popped back in. And what do you call this? Once I replace the seal on it, and we're going to put it back together. Once you successfully remove the seal from the old seal, the new seal, if you look at it, may vary, but this will be considered the top and this will be the bottom. So it just needs to be tapped back in here. So apply a little transmission fluid to it and we'll assemble once I tap that back in. So now I've put the seal and tapped the bearing back in. Basically the shaft and bearing just needs to be tapped in the same way it was tapped out. So now that you can see the channel for where the circlip goes into, that means you've properly seated the bearing. Just make sure that before you do start setting the bearing, that the place where the bearing will sit is clean, and it's cleaned thoroughly, especially the inside of there's that empty space between the seal and the shaft. And then what do you call this, grease the bearing, grease the surface of the bearing with I may have said transmission fluid earlier, but what I meant was power steering fluid, so that it would slide in easily. The next step would be putting the circlip in and putting the two O-rings. One is in the middle, or the O-ring that sits in the middle shaft, and then the outside O-ring. So as you can see, I put what I thought was I should correct myself. Earlier I thought this was the O-ring that I ordered for the pressure hose, but apparently I forgot to order that, so I'm going to be replacing that on a later time. So I will be unfortunately reusing the O-ring that's on the current pressure hose. Hopefully it does not leak while I purchase the replacement for it. But also the O-ring on the outside, the bigger O-ring. And now it's just a matter of removing this O-ring, the seal, and replacing it with a new one, and then putting it back together. So now everything is bolted back together. Like I said, just putting it back. If you if you manage to take away, remove the inside parts of this along with the cover, then you wouldn't have any problems sliding it back in. Word of caution: when you start putting new O-rings in, it will be a little tight sliding it back in, so make sure you don't pinch the O-rings in the wrong position. So constantly check before closing the bolts completely, and then once you hand tighten the bolts, it's a matter of tightening it in order the same way as you would tighten a car's tire, diagonal, so that it will first that till it stops, then this one till it stops, then this one till it stops, then that one till it stops, then start again with that one a little bit tighter, until it no longer moves. And then I will be researching the torque specifications on this, and I will let you know if there's any torque specifications listed. Otherwise, I will just be tightening it till the end, and then a quarter turn. And now for the, not to forget, the circle clip. And then once you put the circle clip in, and then put in the pulley, that's pretty much putting it back together. And I'm pretty sure if you manage to get it out, it's gonna be just pretty much a reverse and putting it back in. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this helps. You have a good day. Final installation, here it is. Put it back on, tension right, and filled power steering fluid, Honda specified. It just needs to be flushed, I guess. I just drained and filled, so I'm gonna do that next time. But as of right now, there shouldn't be any more leaks that's gonna be pronounced in the power steering pump, and no more grinding noise when it's running low. Alright, and again, have a good day. Hope this video helped.